3, 2, 1, and action. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Rehearsal Time with Group 2. Joining us is, as always, is Tyler Young, Eric Zhang, Evan Harris, and yours truly, Adam Epler. How are we doing today?
Doing great. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a little weird because it's rainy outside, and I'm so used to snow I haven't gotten the rain yet.
I know, but the temperature outside, okay, Michigan.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Oh my God, Evan, it's been great because Michigan is one of those places where it's like cold, not cold. And then the not cold hits you across the face and in the most glorious way. So even though it's raining, you know, it's still really nice outside to go out and to just be like, oh my God, I'm not being accosted by cold wind and just frigid temperature. And I love that.
Have you seen the forecast for next week? It's supposed to be in the 70s and in the 80s and sunny.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
things to look forward to.
I'm here for
Excellent.
that.
I will look at it from my window.
Evan, go outside.
No,
Evan,
So, Evan,
I'm worried about you, Evan. Go outside.
I mean, I probably should get some vitamin D. That'd be good.
Evan, can you describe the little environment you're in right now, as far as with the blankets
It's
and
okay. Yeah, it's basically a blanket fort, right? So like
So
childhood
you
memories
do
coming
all of our
true.
practicing and all of our meetings
Yup.
and our podcast in a blanket fort.
All of my teaching. Yeah. So basically what we did, it started with trying to make it so that Emily would have some sound reduction, right? So
Okay.
what we did was we bought PVC frames. So everything is held up by PVC.
So you built this.
Yep. Yeah, we
Nice.
built it. I kind of like, I don't know, I came up with the general structure and then Emily designed it. That's pretty much how things go. We built a table together.
Nice.
When we first apartment we moved in together, we built the table ourselves and it was awesome. Like you could jump on that table. It was sturdy.
Why on earth were you jumping on your table?
Well, it was that sturdy. You could if you wanted to. You didn't have to.
Oh,
But if you needed
continue.
to,
So sorry.
you could
That
jump on the
just-
table. No, you're good.
My brain took a left there. Thanks.
Anyway, so we designed it so that the frames are all PVC, and then we have there's a layer of felt, and then a layer of what is it?
Blanket,
Polar fleece.
elephant,
Polar
woolen
fleece.
fleece. Oh, polar
It's like
fleece.
something out of
Polar
a
fleece, yeah.
Tom Sawyer novel or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't that get
So
hot
then-
though? Ugh.
Nah, not really.
It reminds me of that Community episode where they just build the
I
entire episode.
just
is
watched
building
that, yeah.
forts.
And then they had the argument between, well, do you want a blanket fort or a pillow fort?
What
You
they?
know,
Who won?
Well, they
It's like blanket.
kind of
Okay.
both lost.
Yeah.
Well, because the argument was that blanket forts were easier to put up and expand rapidly, right? Because they were going for a world record.
Expansion. Yeah.
Yeah. So blanket forts expand fast, but pillow forts are more structurally sound. So that was their whole, you know. But it takes
Okay.
longer to build them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have so many questions about the measurements, but risking the fact that we would get into an 85-minute discussion about just that, what we like to do here in Group 2 is a little thing called a check-in. We know how it goes. Tell us something about your week. Eric, you're up.
Oh, great. Let's see.
He's like the teacher called on him and he wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention.
I was
Eric,
trying not
where's
to
your
make,
homework? Can
I
you?
was trying not to make eye contact. And,
Ooh, uh-oh.
it happened.
Those are the ones that I look for,
who'd
though.
you make
Oh,
eye
no.
contact with?
Oh no. Well, this week I went to the park and I saw a family of deer.
How many? Was this like a
think
minivan family?
3.
Okay, you know the little
Okay,
stick.
I'm actually kind of lying. Like I didn't have my glasses on, and
So it could have been
Oh,
it
no.
could have been a
So
speck
I-
of dust.
no, I didn't have my glasses on, and my roommate Jeff, as you guys all know,
Shout out to Jeffrey. Shout
he
out to Jeffrey.
saw them, and then I went to go get my glasses, and then when I put them on, they were gone. So
Aw.
he saw a family of deer,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
It could have been dust.
He could have
deer
just
dust.
made it up and just yeah.
That's an elaborate ploy. Okay, that sounds really sweet. Were you walking? This is a little bit specific, but were you? There's this like water preservation thing near us in
Yes.
Lansing. Was that it?
It's like it's like It's like really close to school.
Gotcha.
By that like preservation area.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, I've been Jeff and Eric have a Instagram. Follow it. Eric, can you drop it? Really? Not
TBD Bros.
TBD Bros. At TBD Bros. Follow them. It's great. They always post really delicious pictures of their food that they make. And so I've been noticing Eric's been going hard with the tacos. I think, right? You've
Been going
yeah,
with the
boy.
tacos and
Nice.
making the guac.
Have you been making them not on Tuesday? Because we talked about that.
Well, we
Evan.
made it. We started making on Tuesday, and then, you have some bleed over. So
Well, I mean, if it's not Tuesday, you can't eat tacos. Should I refresh memory? If it's not Tuesday, I don't eat tacos. I just don't.
We're actually planning on making tacos tonight.
Oh,
You're
wow.
kidding me.
Okay.
not
Wow.
Thursday is the same as Tuesday. So it's
You
like,
have, yeah, I guess so. I guess
It's
so. They
Friday.
both start with the same letter.
Is it?
Oh, it is Friday. Hey,
I was
happy
like,
Friday.
wait a second. Am I?
Hey,
yeah, no.
happy
it's
Friday, boys. Happy
Friday.
Friday.
And that's how social
Wow.
distancing is going.
yeah.
That's a great check-in. Wow, Evan, check in with your boring check-in, self-proclaimed boring check-in. I'm not just a
yeah.
jerk.
So we were talking about it before. I feel like it's fairly boring because I feel like I guess I got a couple things. I'm still chugging away on the Arensky transcription. I'm to the editing phase, which is probably the most frustrating because there's so many little things have to move and be like perfect placement, and I'm just like, ugh. So that's I just put a show on and do that while I'm watch a show on doing
can
that.
you
Anyway,
just talk can you talk a little bit about the process for anybody who doesn't know about what arranging is or how to do it necessarily?
So I gotta bring out a spectrum now because we're gonna talk about arranging versus transcribing, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So what I'm doing with the Arensky is more of a transcription-based project. So transcription's over here.
to your left.
Yeah, which for me, a transcription is trying to stay as close to the original as possible, right? Which is I'm taking a string quartet and then making it so that a saxophone quartet can play it as like to the best of my ability, staying as close as possible to the original. So that would, to me, that's more like a transcription. And then over here we got arrangements, which is more of like transforming it so it's something completely different, and like you can mix and match on there, but it'd be like taking taking any sort of pop tune and then like rewriting it for a different ensemble. That's gonna fall somewhere probably more on the arrangement,
On like the
spectrum.
grayscale. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where, like, with the Arensky, I'm doing more of a transcription-based thing. And for me, that has basically been copying and pasting the score into Finale, which you can't copy and paste.
Which is a music notation software.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have to go in and manually input, like, basically recreate the string quartet score, and then I transpose it so that it works for saxophone, like so that saxophone will be able to read it. And then I basically have to go through and figure out, if there's pizzicato, which is where the string instrument plucks the string, how to make that work for saxophone. Sometimes you can just do like a really short articulation, and that'll be fine. Sometimes it has to be more like a slap tongue, which is a percussive effect. Yep. So figuring that out, sometimes you got to play around with the ranges of things because violins can play a lot higher than saxophone, a lot easier. So trying to figure that out.
Whoa, speak for yourself, man.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
I'm kidding.
It depends. I mean,
And Evan's very
fine,
good
it's a lot
at it.
harder for me.
Yes, he is.
I don't know.
You're good at it. I think that you are.
I don't know.
I'm biased.
I got to get so much better at it though. This soprano part is going to be ridiculous.
Good.
So I've finished that process of inputting the score, recreating it, and now I'm to the part where I have to edit it, which basically means that no touching, right? You can't, nothing can touch. You don't want,
Can you say that again, Evan?
Yeah, one more
No
time.
touching.
Oh, okay.
All right, that we're immortalizing that now.
I can finally fulfill my lifelong dream of becoming a meme.
Yeah.
Oh, this is new to me as well. Keep going, Evan.
Anyway, so I've finished that. So no touching. So it's like taking, like you have your crescendos, decrescendos, dynamics, and everything, and you want to make sure that none of that is touching anything else. There's always got to be some special, bubble, personal bubble. and just making sure that all of that's fine, and then making sure like the score is pretty and easy to read, as easy as possible to read, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and that's the tedious part.
That's awesome.
So that's where I'm at with that.
Good. That's a great check-in. It wasn't boring. I liked that one.
that wasn't my boring check-in. My boring check-in was that I'm finally having some success with double tonguing.
Yeah, that's a boring check-in, dude.
After struggling my entire collegiate career.
Oh God.
Yep, I'm finally getting some of it.
Oh, great. Adam.
So, my check-in
Evan.
is actually on double tonguing too. I'm joking. No.
Oh no.
So mine, I got a little bit worried when Eric started talking because mine was about deer as well. But mine has to do with
What the heck is
a
with this
story about
deer
deer.
motif?
So I've been going on some walks around the area, and in Michigan, in Lansing, it's weird because it's a city, but there's a lot of wildlife, and you see deer walking around campus sometimes, and in the south part of campus, like Tyler, where you used to live with Connor and Jeff,
Yes.
that area. So
Shout out to Connor Mikula for giving me this mug for my birthday.
and the calendar behind you is matching the mug. Look at that.
Yeah, that's right. The calendar is also Pugs.
Oh, yeah?
And Keaton Garrett. Shout out to Keaton Garrett. He's one of my housemates. He gave me this. Very lovely. I love it so much. I forget to change it to the right month. So we're like halfway through May, and it's still on April, and I'm like, oh. Keep going. Sorry.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question? Tyler,
Absolutely.
do you like pugs?
I would. Okay, I'm struggling to find the right kind of analogy that I would make from me loving something to like translation to something else. I love pugs as much as Jeff Bezos loves getting money from all of us.
Wow.
Wow.
Shout out to the realness. I love them so much. I want one when I get older. I am not able to take care of one yet because they are a lot of work. But I love the way that they make the noises that they make that annoy everyone else, and they look really cute. And the pug, I'm going to get a pug, and his name is going to be Timothy Bachman. That's his name, is Timothy Bachman. I was thinking about doing a Timothy P. Bachman, and then people would be like, what's P stand for? Like a middle name? And I'm like, it's just P, the letter P and the period after, And so I think that's cute, and I don't know why my brain works in mysterious ways. Go ahead, Adam.
So for any future romantic interests of Tyler listening, to get him for his birthday or Christmas if you're struggling for a gift, pug related.
Sort of pug thing,
related.
Pug
There
related.
we go. So I was thinking about the deer, and it reminded me of a story of a childhood friend I had, and we were in Boy Scouts together, and he was a great hunter, fisherman. His name is actually Hunter. And his dad is from the area, from East Lansing area. And he's one of those people who just knows everything about wildlife and knows how to hunt everything and how to respect wildlife. Is just he's a land surveyor. And he used to tell me that, and I don't know how true this is if I misremembered it, but I'm pretty sure this is correct, that there's a big deer population problem that that needs to be controlled by, in some ways, some of the people who hunt. And so he would, in high school or early college, when he used to live in the area, the city of Ann Arbor would have him at night hunt for deer around the city, so to keep the deer population in control. So I wonder
what kind of email that looked like.
Yeah,
I just got
totally
an email
heard
from
of
the
that.
city
this was
of Ann Arbor.
This was in the 80s and 90s, so
Hello,
it was
sir.
probably a little Post-it note they slept on.
It was a carrier pigeon. Wow, what's this? Oh, they want me to hunt deer starting at dusk. Will do. You can only use primitive weapons. Sure thing. Get my
bows
spear,
and-
my bow and arrow. That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
that's
I've
my
totally I've totally
check-in.
heard of that before.
Yeah, so it's a rare thing. But let's go to Tyler. You were really excited about your check-in. Weren't
Yeah,
you, Tyler?
Tyler.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, everybody, listen, stop what you're doing. If you're listening to this, that's great. If you're watching it, don't pause it. Really pay attention. Meet my eyes. These headphones came in today. Or, whoa. They came in this week. This is my weekly check-in. Hold on. They are...
Sennheiser. This is not a paid promotion.
They're Sennheiser headphones. Okay, listen, I love music. We all love music, right? To a lesser or greater degree, some of us love it enough to do it for a living. Some of us, like me and these wonderful people that I'm talking with this morning, do this for a living. And I never realized that I was listening to music through Bose noise canceling headphones, which are fantastic in their own right. I love practicing with them. I love running with them. They just go, and all of the outside sound is gone, which is really nice. I love it. But here I am. I'm talking to one of my housemates who is an audiophile, somebody who loves music. And so he was like, hey, man, like, you know, no highs, no lows, must be Bose. And I was always like huffy. I was like, I love my Bose, you know? And he would go, yeah, man, but you got to listen to some other stuff. You know, you got to just try it. Just try it. So I'm like, I start to get curious and I go on Reddit. Wonderful Reddit. Evan, have you ever heard about Reddit before? Check it out.
Never heard of it.
And so I go on Reddit and I'm like going through these audiophile threads. I'm just like, wow, I didn't know what a sound stage was. I didn't know what like perfect mixing and mastering inside your headphones. I didn't know what open back as opposed to closed back was. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. And then I'm like, you know what? I think I want to invest in some really high quality headphones. And I did. And I did some research and I looked at some reviews and they were like, hey man, check out these Sennheisers. And they're called the 58X Jubilee, which is pretty cool. Let me double check on that. Yeah.
58X Jubilee.
Mm-hmm. HD 58X Jubilee. Yeah, I know. And it made me feel even more special because I'm like, ooh, Selmer Paris. Ha ha hee, you know? And so I'm like, oh, everybody's just raving over these headphones. And they were $140.
So,
and I was like, oh,
significantly less expensive than the Bose.
Really?
Yes, significantly. I mean, for those who aren't quite aware, headphones can get up into the multiple of thousands of dollars. There are headphones that I've seen that can be sold for $4,000, $5,000 that you can just Google right now. They're insanely expensive when you get up into that upper echelon, that upper throws. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, it's not crazily expensive, which is, you know, good, but it also, the reviews are immaculate. Everybody's like, hey man, you're not living until you hear what these things are packing. And I'm like, okay, order them. Talk to Charlie. Charlie's like, I don't know, let's check him out, you know, because he's like, he's heard of them maybe, but he's never, you know, kind of like gone into the depths of researching them. I got them, and I'm a big fan of Jacob Collier. Okay, I love the guy.
What? Crazy.
I have never heard Jacob Collier until after I put these headphones on. And then I was like, oh, I felt the tears welling and I was like, I can't believe how beautiful these sound. And I was outside just lost in it. I just felt like I was being transported. Everything was so clear. The lines were defined. It was crazy. When you hear him like kind of like sneak in, like, you can literally hear it so clearly. It just is. It's like he's next to you, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Are they better quality than the Bose, in your opinion?
Yes, they are. And the thing is that they're not noise canceling. So I can talk to you guys right now. Though for people who are viewing, I can talk to these right now, and I can have the whole headset on. When I wear the Bose, I have to kind of like offset one of the ears so I can hear you guys clearly and hear myself talk. So I know that I'm not like blah 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 like way too loud.
And those are also Bluetooth.
No, this is corded.
Okay.
100% cord, baby. Oh, whoops. Hi,
or
saxophone.
the Bose. The Bose are Bluetooth, though.
Bose are Bluetooth, yes.
Okay.
Which is why they're really good to run with, which is why they're really good to practice with, because you can move around and you don't have to worry about getting, like, you know, lassoing yourself. But rodeo, you know, Dolly Parton style. So I was like, okay, well, I just love these so much, and it became more of a event. It became like listening to something. It became more of I can critically listen to something and be like, oh my God, I can hear so much deeper. The transcription that Evan was doing and talking about earlier, I sat down and listened to them and I was like, I have not heard the transcription like this before. It's just all the lines are so clear. You can literally, I like to describe it, you can feel how taut the bow is when they're striking it. on the cello or on the violin, you can literally feel it. It's just like so tight, just meow, you know, when they start with the down bows, everything is very clear. I've never had that experience before. And that has been my weekly check-in, and it has been consuming my life. I've become a self-proclaimed audiophile at maybe not not my favorite thing to say out loud, but I never thought that I would. But I really, really love these headphones so much. So highly suggest, if you're listening and you're like, hey, listen, I'm really bored with music right now. These headphones, 58X Jubilee Sennheiser, go for them. They're affordable. They are amazing soundstage. I love listening to them, and you will not be disappointed. Sponsor us.
Tyler.
Yeah, by the way, Sennheiser, please.
Okay,
if you're listening,
please,
Sennheiser, please.
I'm begging.
I've got a piece for you to check out with those headphones. You gotta
Send it
check
to me
out
in that private chat. DM me. Slip into my DMs with that piece, Evan.
Okay, I was gonna say it's the Haas saxophone
Oh
quartet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check that
microtonal.
out.
Super cool.
Cool. That's my check-in, boys.
You know,
Like,
Tyler, you're really good at
Beautiful.
selling a product, which is going to come in handy a little bit later in the podcast.
That will come in handy.
So, Evan, I've heard that we have a little bit of a special treat today as far as your Reddit check-in and your news that we always do on the podcast. And it has a theme this week. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Kind of. So I was given the task of finding something video game related. So you know, I just went to straight up the gaming, the gaming subreddit just to see like what, you know, people were talking about and whatnot. And I actually thought it was kind of cool because people were talking about remakes today or this week was what I saw, because it looks like there's been a bunch of remakes that they're making. So the first one that was I saw was probably the biggest was a remake of Final Fantasy VII. And what I found, they're not just like redoing the animation or anything, they're actually completely rebuilding it. It's like from the ground up. So it'll give like, you know, all the voice actors a chance to like really find their, it's been released on PS4. It was released on April 10. But it gave them a chance to like really let the character develop and stuff. And from there's a couple of different trailers that I found from it or for it, and it looks, I mean, it looked like the animation just looks great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were talking as a quartet to talk about what news we wanted to give a news segment to Bevy because Beverly is his nickname for those who don't know. Feel free to call him that whenever you want. So we wanted to give a news segment to Bevy, and and the tough part is that that's really open ended. So we were like, oh, let's do something that let's find a topic that, you know, we want to talk about, and something that's maybe unrelated to stuff that we've heard in our little circle or something like that. And we were like, what about video games? And we're going to make this a video game topic. And I know when I was growing up, I'm not so much into video games now, but when I was growing up, I was a veritable Pokemon master. You know, and that's why Adam is like, oh, yeah, try me. And I'm like, catch me in that Elite Four. Catch me in that. So we... Yeah, so we wanted to make this segment about video games, and if you like video games, you'll love it. If you don't like video games, you'll learn something from it.
Maybe. I don't know.
And maybe possibly, quite possibly. But we just wanted to give Evan a chance to really dive into something that I think that he really loves. I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love video games. Like some of my favorite ones were I play Overwatch. I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online with Emily right now.
How do you play that online, dude? Like, isn't that a?
It's a separate game.
Yeah, it's an entire like it's a separate game.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm ridiculously ignorant on so many levels of a lot of these video games. And so I just from what I think, right? What is it? Elder Scrolls. What'd you say? Yeah, Elder Scrolls. Isn't that like Oblivion type? Like Skyrim.
It's
type?
that same type of universe. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was very much of like you go in and you play it yourself. It's not like when I was a kid, I played RuneScape growing up. Shout out that Dragon Crew. Oh, I loved it. Loved it so much. Shout out to Dad.
Selling 10 beef.
Selling 10 beef. You got to make money somehow, boys. Kids got to go to college. Sell 10 beef. Is it cooked? No, it's raw. What do I look like? Take my 10 beef. But could you talk a little bit about that universe? Because growing up, I never really had like the PlayStation. Mom was always like, video games, no, like don't even come with me. Go play outside with your sister. And I was like, Mommy. And she said no. And so talk to me about someone whose mom didn't do that.
I mean, to some extent, we were definitely like told to, okay, you're done. You need to go outside now. And we're like, okay. And for me, it was great. I loved growing up. Like I was outdoors all the time. We had a sandbox, and I would flood it with the garden hose, and then
Oh my God.
giant holes. And
So you'd
it
ruin
just
the
be
concept
covered
of
in
a
mud. Yeah.
sandbox.
It was great. I just like to dig holes, like the movie Holes. That's basically what I did there. It was great.
The movie about juvenile delinquents in Texas. You love that?
Kissing Kate Barlow.
Well, no, the digging holes part.
I can fix that.
Did you guys
I can
ever?
fix
That was
that.
the
I can
movie for
fix
me that in when we had like a free day in like high school history, middle school history class. For some
Yeah.
reason, every history teacher had holes on DVD
Yeah,
or
everyone.
VHS.
And it always had some shit written on the outside of the DVD container where you're like, why
You're like,
is
oh,
there-
it's a holes day,
It's
and
a
then
holes day.
they had the theme music. It was like, gotta dig those holes, and I was like, oh my. And
You always knew what was coming when you were starting to bop.
show you. You have to know.
Yeah. So Evan, go ahead. Talk to us about
Anyway.
Skyrim. You played this as a kid growing up?
I played a little bit. And it was I didn't play Oblivion, which was the one that came before Skyrim. I jumped in the Skyrim world. So that one, you're the Dragonborn, and this one is a single player one, but you're the Dragonborn. So you can learn like how to speak the dragon's language, which is a very powerful language. So you can do different things. Yeah, and then you basically run around and do quests. Like you can follow this main storyline if you want, which you don't have to. I would typically get to the point where I learned the dragon shout, and then I would just go do what I wanted. Just, we're gonna go do this. I'm gonna visit this city. This looks like fun.
So
I found a bear. I'm gonna run away.
Is it the game? Okay, this might be really weird for you guys, but is this the game where you go up to the person who's giving you the quest, and then you're like, "Hello, sir," and then they have this giant dialogue, and they're like, "See you later." And then you go to the next guy, and they're like, "What do you want?"
Dude, that's me right now. So Jeff is letting me play his Breath of the Wild.
Hey,
game,
shout out to Jeffrey.
Such a good game.
Good
Such a good
game.
game. But you walk up to these NPCs, and then you click A, and they're like, "Ha ha!" And then there's this giant
oh, it's Lula.
line of they make some grunt. It's like, "Huh," and then it's just
This huge line of
yeah,
text.
yeah. Like, oh.
That's what always frustrated me about those games. Like, did you ever play The Sims? They don't
Helen.
speak
Yeah.
English. They speak their Sims language, which you can kind of understand what they're trying to say, but it would just frustrate me because, like, just tell me what you want. Don't. Communication is the most important thing if I'm trying to create a life for you. So you're gonna have to tell me something.
Yes.
Yeah.
My sister was really into Sims. Okay, shout out to Helen. Oh my God, I'm gonna tell this story. Helen is so into Sims, and she's so funny about it. She was sitting there. She plays Sims when we come home, which is not often, because we're both doing our thing. My sister is a nurse in North Carolina. Hey, first responders, thank you for doing your stuff, Helen. And so she would be at home and be playing The Sims, and I'd just sit down next to her. I'm like, "What's up, girl? What are you doing?" She's like, "So I just killed an entire town, and I'm bored." I'm like, she's like, "I've done everything imaginable to these Sims, everything." Like she would like put them in a house and then take the doorway and light it on fire, and it's like,
Oh dear Lord.
I just.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the ghosts would run around and just keep haunting and kill people because they'd get scared, literally scared to death.
It's self-sustainable at that point.
It's self-sustainable. And so after I was talking to her, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of messed up, but that's really interesting at the same time." So I went on this thread about like the top 15 things that the worst thing that has ever happened to all the Sims. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go down that road.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
don't
if you
know.
have some free time, and if you want to just be like, "Wow, Just go and just Google.
Yeah,
like top
people
50
do some
things.
stuff with The Sims.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
Oh,
it's crazy.
no.
That reminds me, I had a friend growing up, my best friend in high school and middle school. He had all the expansion packs for the Sims, all of them, which I think we added it up. He obtained them. I won't say who it was, but not legally. It was torrent. But we added it up, and it was probably I think it was like $1,400 or $1,500.
Wow.
That if he would have had to spend the actual money on all the
What?
expansion,
That's
because
so
it was like
expensive.
this was the Sim 3. It
That's
was like
crazy.
the university life, and then there was like they keep adding expansion packs. Like they're
That's
very specific too. It's like
Wow.
fraternity sorority life, and all you get and all that comes with the expansion pack is some like boat shoes and like columns on the house or something.
Vineyard vines.
Yeah, you gotta spend the same amount of money to get virtual boat shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that's insane to me. You know what? When I was growing up, I had two video games. And for everything else, I went over to friends' houses to play.
Yeah.
I had RuneScape and I had Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Which you're very good at.
I am not. I used to be good. I used to practice that game because I was in a friend of mine from UNC Greensboro, Anson Carroll. Shout out Anson. We would always love to go and watch these tournaments and just like try to get good at the game and like practice it. And these guys are ruthless. This is a child's game.
It's an art.
It's a child's game, family. And people would just learn how to manipulate it so they would break it so deeply that you could just like move around twice as fast, attack twice as fast. And we would just learn how to break the game like that.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's an art. You're right.
The game is, people found glitches in it so that they could move around better. Like it's
crazy.
It's the perfect game.
It's amazing.
It's a perfectly imperfect game.
And you know what? I was gonna save this, but I think now's a good time to bring it up. There were actually 3 games. There was RuneScape, there was Super Smash Brothers, and there was Pokemon.
There was
I was gonna say you
Pokemon.
left out
Okay.
Pokemon.
I know I left out
Yes.
Pokemon. I know.
Because
I just-
Pokemon's not a game; it was a lifestyle. back
it
then.
was a lifestyle. It was a way.
Okay,
That's
so who was your favorite Pokemon?
Arcanine. Growing up, I loved him so much. I would wake up and literally look around my room like he was like jumping around, like he was real, like he was
Down
real
boy,
to
down
me.
boy.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa! Back,
You're
back,
just
back,
waking
back.
up.
So you would wake up, Tyler, and
I
you would
vivid
imagine, you
memories.
would see him, or you would imagine him, or act like he was there, or what?
I wish I was
Oh, you wished.
hallucinating.
You-
I wish I was hallucinating, Adam. I
Oh.
had to conjure him up in my brain. I wanted to have Pokemon be real so badly, I would literally feel bad. I remember going on trips with my parents, and I would look out the window and like imagine like Pokemon running beside the car.
There's a Bellsprout.
A Bellsprout be running beside the car? Evan, you fake
don't know.
fan. No,
Maybe
I
you just saw it like he's just chilling by the side of the road trying to cross. I don't know, and you're like,
you're
oh
right.
hey, a Bellsprout.
Man, but would you guys have any good Pokemon stories? Like, I loved that game so
I've
deeply.
logged so many hours away for that.
What game?
Well, Emerald was my
Yes,
first one.
yes.
Emerald, I went and I would like I would beat it, start over, beat it.
Would
keep
you
going?
would you get both editions of the game so you could complete the Pokédex?
Oof.
Wow, that's a tough one.
I would trade with people, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the other game.
Yeah, for me, we would split it. So like for Pokemon Silver or like Pokemon Silver Gold that generation, I got Silver and my older brother got Gold, and then we played through them.
Oh, that's so
and then,
cool.
And then he got Crystal for the first generation, so Red, Blue. Which one did I have? I think I had Red and he had Blue, and then I got Yellow because he had Crystal.
You could trade
So we kinda-
between those, right?
Yeah, but like just because we wanted the complete set of like that generation.
Yeah.
So then, like to make it fair, like I got the Yellow, he got Crystal, and we just kind of bounce back and forth like that.
That's amazing. I just remember on Emerald. So for those who have never played through Pokemon Emerald before, it is the 3rd generation of Pokemon. So you have the original ones, and then you have the second one, which is arguably my favorite generation because you had like really hardcore Pokemon in that one, and I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Leaf
But
Green. And,
yeah, and then you had like Johto, like Silver and and then you had
Those were so
Emerald
good.
and Ruby and Sapphire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the game that it was my 8th birthday party. And I invited a bunch of people over, and I just played that game the entire time. Everybody was watching Pokemon Heroes, the movie, in my living room, except me. I was in my room playing Pokemon Emerald.
What?
It was unhealthy.
You know what? I wish we could go back into time and do this podcast, but when we were all in like 6th grade.
Oh,
It'd be so.
no.
Oh man, I just loved that game so unconditionally. Now it's really difficult to get back into it.
Well,
but-
Tyler, when we live together next year, we'll have to do some Pokemon together.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll bring
that sounds
everything.
good. I'll bring everything, man.
So Tyler, I've got going back to the video game news segment.
Right,
real
right,
quick.
yeah. New segment.
I've got I know you said that you didn't do too many video games, right? Like you had your 3 main ones. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming you probably have not played this game, and from what I found, it was very difficult to find. But I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick, so because I want to see your reaction, and then we can talk about it. But
Yeah.
this is a scheduled a remake that's gonna be released soon.
Oh my god. Okay,
So-
Rehydrated.
For anybody listening,
Re-
it is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
that's an abomination.
PC and Xbox One.
Can you
And
can you
what
pull
I've
up the
seen-
can you pull up the thumbnail? The I want to see.
Why-
Wow.
why-
Yeah, I've
Hey,
definitely.
it's rated
I remember
E10.
this.
Yes.
I remember.
I
this.
never
Battle for
I never
Bikini
played that.
Bottom.
I had a SpongeBob game for DS, Nintendo DS SP. But it was I liked it enough to look up the cheats online so I could get to the very end. But I didn't.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember wanting that game. I remember wanting
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah, I don't think that
Wanting
I
it.
ever played it. Yeah, but
Eric-
if you want, you get a chance to.
Eric, did your
Yeah.
parents? What was your video game life growing up? Did your parents like you that you played video games, or did your sister play with
mostly
you?
Not, well,
I guess she wasn't around.
I basically passed down all my game systems to my sister, but well, that's not true. I just took my GameCube with me. My first system was the GameCube, and I remember like waiting outside Circuit City.
Circuit City. Wow.
I
That's a
know.
name
People
I
don't
haven't
know
heard
what that
in
is.
a long time.
What a
Circuit City.
skeleton! I didn't know we were digging up bones today.
got up early.
Should have brought my shovel.
to stand outside Circuit City, and I remember it was $99.99, and you get a free game with it. You got Mario Kart Double Dash. So that was my first game, and then, but my parents never let me get the Xbox, PlayStation, that kind of thing.
Why?
And-
Did they say why? Did you want it?
No, I mean, I wanted it, but like, I think those also have more like FPS games.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I didn't get to play a bunch of that. I would go to my neighbor's house,
I feel
and
you.
he would have those games. So
Oh my god! I would go over to a friend's house, and we would play Halo. And I would come home the next day, and Mom's like, "You were playing video games, weren't you?" And I would be unresponsive. I'd be like, "Ugh," and just go into my room. And she knows. I'm like in a coma. My eyes are just bloodshot from the amount of TV
no, and
time.
then
10 hours straight.
your mom walks in the room, and you have to go like this because your DS is under the pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad caught me one time. Oh, I was so.
You're under the covers. You're like,
My dad. Okay, this is for you, Rick. My dad is the Disney dad of the house. Mom was always the person who would really scold you, and she was really hardcore. She would ground you, and Dad was always like, "Hey," right after Mom would ground us, Dad was always like, "You want to go get ice cream from?" And Mom was like, "I grounded that," And so I would be in bed. I had a bunk bed when I was a kid. I don't know why.
I did
sister and
too.
were different-
I did. I was an only child, but I had a bunk bed.
It was cute because you got to like pick which bunk you wanted any given week. So I was in the top bunk, and I was playing DS, and I wasn't allowed to play past a certain hour of the day. And so
So naturally you were.
just so naturally, being a bad kid growing up, being rebellious, I would play. And I remember, oh my God, Dad got me so hard this one time. I was playing super late, like 11 o'clock, so late to my standards. And then I hear the footsteps. We all know the footsteps.
Yep.
We all know the footsteps.
You see the walls vibrate.
And so I was like, oh shit. Slap down my DS right under the pillow. Sleep. Snoring it up. Dad comes in. He leaves. He didn't leave. He just hid behind my door. So when I took it,
Wow.
it was like the light of the arc lighting up the room when I flipped up the DS, and he was like, "Got you. Give it to me
He got
right
you
now."
so good. He got you so good.
He never. He was clowning. I never had Dad get me that good before. I was like, oh man, you got me.
Tyler, we're gonna have to get Dad on the podcast.
Like, that's a
at
good,
some time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, that would
we
be
do.
so good. I was talking to him yesterday about The Fifth Element, and I was like, hey, I mentioned you in our first podcast, and he was like, oh, I really love that movie, and because the first podcast that we talked about a movie called The Fifth Element, and how Bevy, just to go back to that for like 2 seconds, the plot is ex-military guy who's done with the military. There is a giant weapon that's being made in this very, very big futuristic. It's a 2000 year 2300.
2300, I think.
Yep.
23rd century, I think.
23rd century or 20. What is that? 2400 or 2200? Something, I don't know. And so Bruce Willis is the main character, and he's ex-military guy, and then the government comes to him and is like, Bruce, we need you to help destroy this giant thing that's going to destroy our planet. And he would go, he was like, I don't know, like, that's not what, he was like, okay. After a while, he's like, okay, he's convinced, he'll do it. So he needed to gather 5 elements and put it into this giant ancient machine that then destroyed the thing. But he had all the other elements that we know and love, are fire, water, air, all that, and then the Fire Nation attack. And so the 5th element was a girl. Was like, I don't know the actress. She was very, very good, but she was like kind of like alienish, not the way that she looked, but the way that she acted. She was just like, I don't know who, what,
Yeah, she was a humanoid.
She was a humanoid. So he had to track her down, and they had to take her to this place, and she was the 5th element to help destroy this weapon. That's that. But yeah, Dad caught me. Dad got me real hard with that DS.
Yeah.
I've never been. Mom would always hide it, and I'm always like, I was like, I know, I'm a little puzzle master. I can figure out where you hide this stuff to like get it. But Dad, man,
That's the
when
worst
he got
feeling
it,
because you think you
I
got
know.
away with it. But,
You got away with
we're gonna have to talk about video games more at some point. But I think it's
Yes.
time we move on to our the big segment in the show. And
Oh, no, the
Tyler, do
finale.
you want to talk a little bit about what we decided to do here?
Oh, I would love to. So we here at the Group 2 podcast, Rehearsal Time with Group 2, we want to give you guys quality content. We want to give you the chicken patty that you always wanted, And so we were talking, we were thinking, we were like, oh man, what should we do? And we had this idea, and we were like, let's find the dumbest Amazon product that we could possibly find and try to sell it to each other. And here we are. We each came equipped with one fire Amazon product. We're going to go in score order. So that's soprano, alto, tenor, baritone. So that means Evan's up first. Evan, your job is to go through your dumb Amazon product and sell it to us the best way you can. We're going to fight
not
back a
gonna
little
go
bit.
well.
Like you got to do a good job. Start us
I've
off right,
accepted
man.
that I am definitely not going to be the best one.
Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen, and we'll give a couple minutes
right.
for Evan to do his.
Yes, I'm
his
so
pitch.
See it.
excited.
Let's hear it.
So here we go. We want this screen. So, Evan, why don't you
Yeah.
give us a little bit of a pitch
So-
here?
So what we got, right? So like I already said, I wasn't like.
And you'll
I'm
have to
not super
describe it
confident.
for the audio listeners
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
so
I'm
dumb.
not super. I wasn't super confident in my choice, but I was feeling nostalgic last week after talking about
It's a
like the rules of the
banana
internet
slicer.
and like lurk more and everything, right? And the official measurement or like thing to use to put thing into perspective for scale on the internet is a banana, right? It's banana for scale. So
scale.
what my product is it is a banana slicer, right?
Okay, not
So-
gonna lie, like I would use that.
Right. So, I mean, I actually owned one at one point. So that was part of the other reason, and I was super upset because I went and asked Emily. I was like, "Do we still have this banana slicer?" And she's like, "No, we forgot to bring it with us when we moved from Oklahoma."
Forgot
Like,
to
was
bring
one-
it or intentionally left it. There's a
Left it.
big difference.
I'm not
there.
sure. I'm gonna leave that as a question mark.
Okay, good. Answer below.
But one of the problems with it, if you look at it, it's kind of shaped like a banana, right? You know, it's yellow. It's
Yes.
got that
Yeah.
kind of banana shape, and then it's got little like plastic cross beams or something, so you can slice the banana, right? It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
super sharp because
I think that's the
it's a
idea.
banana. It's it's soft. It's gonna cut pretty easy.
It's a banana.
But
Banana.
the problem with it, and the main issue that we had with it, was that the shape of that does not match the shape of all bananas.
That's true.
Right?
Not all bananas are created equal.
No, not all bananas are shaped the same. So, one of the problems that we ran into was literally just being able to have the banana fit inside of the shape there. Anyway, so to sell it
That's
to you, now
very
that I've shared with you the very real issue that we experienced with it, is that, you know what? Like, you wake up in the morning, you know, you want to like make some banana pancakes, you want to put some banana slices in your cereal. I don't know. You can do it in one swift motion with this. You don't have to sit there with your knife and, you know, individually cut every one. You can just swoop, and it's done.
I love what it says here. It says
That's great.
kids love
Kids-
slicing their own bananas.
Yeah, and who doesn't like to? I mean, you know, and then you're encouraging your kids to like take part in the kitchen, you know, with cooking
Yeah,
and like
that's
preparing
great.
their food. Yeah, it's great.
Very,
So
very
it's
wholesome.
also an educational experience.
What if you don't want to use the entire banana?
Well, you won't have to, right? I mean, you know, you can slice it. You can save half the slices for later. You know, maybe put something like, you know, maybe some lemon juice on it or something to help it from browning.
Lemon
Ooh,
juice.
fun fact.
know.
Yeah, life hack alert.
Yeah,
Lemon
yeah,
juice
a
on your
little bit
banana
of-
saves it.
Same with guacamole. I like to use lime juice for it, but it's the acidity
Oh,
that helps. So I've
yes,
also used
lime juice.
Yeah, lime juice. I've used orange juice before because that's what I had on hand, but it's great. And then
Yeah.
you just got to get rid of the air.
Just for those who are listening, the description of this Hurlitzer 571. There's a model number.
Yeah, why
So
is it?
I don't know if there were
Yeah, I like the
571
571
renditions
slicer.
of this, and this is the one they went with.
On the 571st edition, they got it right. They finally figured out what color the banana
Hutzler
was.
571 banana slicer.
So,
Check
so
out
Evan, I
these-
think it was a great pick. Just so for those who are
great pick.
interested, the Hutzler 571 banana slicer sold on Amazon. It's Amazon Prime, $6.35. Get yours today.
Get yours
Bravo,
today.
Evan.
Good job, Evan.
So shall
Eric,
we,
there-
Eric?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready
Yes.
for this one.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
Oh.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Oh, here
Oh.
we go. Give me a second. There we
Very-
go. Oh, can you see it? Is it
That's
still
the banana
banana?
slicer.
That's a banana
Oh,
slicer.
no. Oh,
It's all right.
oh,
We're just
Eric,
figuring
did you
this
pick
out.
the
there we
same
go. This
thing?
one.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, Eric, I was gonna
Yeah.
get that.
Yes, this was. So I'll be honest. I mean, it was a relatively simple find, just like Google search, you know.
The price.
But I think simple sometimes equates to greatness, and
No, it doesn't.
you know, just think about it. This is I think a let's see, $40,000 home that you can have delivered right to your house.
Oh, look at that. Is
that
it furnished?
You may already have.
Fully furnished.
Deliver it.
Wow.
It's
your
fully.
house.
It comes already fully furnished. You know, you don't need. So forget all the real estate. You know, finding an agent. Going, looking around, going to the neighbors. You
Yeah,
can
you're
see
set.
everything you need
Yeah.
to see right
Look
here.
how dumb that top bunk is. You can't
Look,
get in
that's,
it.
that's Group 2's house right
And-
there. It's 4 beds.
Yeah, and if you've ever wanted to live that trailer life, you can do that. This one can't really move, obviously, but
You can always mod it though.
Yeah, you can sit it right outside your actual house,
That can
or
be a
just
guest house.
live in this. Yeah.
So it's a 40-foot tiny home that you can
Yeah.
buy on Amazon
You can
for
literally
$40,000.
buy this
Free
for
shipping.
$40,000.
I love
and it's
shipping.
free shipping.
I love
yeah.
that heated and air conditioning is included.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, can we just check out the reviews on this, please? Really,
Sure.
just very
So
quickly.
we'll read some reviews. There's a lot of questions. It's a kind of a great idea for
idea for
someone
some-
just starting
Just
out.
starting out. Okay.
Consult with your local government agency first.
Yeah, that's probably important.
Notice-
Yeah.
Who buys this for storing bikes? Question mark.
Yes, it's a great reason for bike storage.
I love this one. There are 6 pictures and 4 of them are from the outside.
Seems
guess
like
there's
you
not
can
much
have the
going on
house
inside.
with the same size built from scratch for half the price.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
This is a dumb Amazon product. I appreciate this
Yeah,
so
I mean,
much.
look over some of those pictures again. Like, let's see.
That looks nice.
Yeah, like look at that furniture, and
Looks
the
But they
book
don't show the
says-
bathroom. So,
They do not show the bathroom. That's one.
honestly, our trailer that we stayed in looked bigger than this. This is-
Yeah.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I
can't
think
tell.
that this one is bigger.
Just for reference, Group 2 stayed in a trailer at a saxophone conference that we had in March, and it was
that?
literally the worst thing. Like, the
Solid
tightest
It was a
thing
little bit
ever.
over a week.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good one, Eric. Bravo.
bravo, Eric.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bravo.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
40-foot tiny home.
40-foot tiny home.
Adam, you're up, boya.
Great. So, here we go. Get this shared. Right here. Okay, so if you're anyone like me, in the state of Michigan, it's really popular. We're the Great Lakes state. We have so many lakes and great beaches and a lot of fun outdoor activities. And one of the top ones is chilling on the lake with your friends. So I thought, what better product than to chill on the lake with than a giant inflatable flamingo float that's about the size of a garage. So for those of you listening,
I like this a lot.
it is
And
a
it is
pink flamingo.
pink.
The title of this is Pink Flamingo Peacock Super Large Floating Bed Water Floating Ball Toy Swimming Pool PVC Floating Row Inflatable Toy suitable for 6 people, lightweight.
Lightweight.
And I think for the low price of what Eric was saying, you could get a small house for $40,000, but how about for 1/40th of that, $1,000, you can get, or is that a tenth? I don't know if I did the math right. You get $1,000 and you get this whole flamingo.
And look at they look so happy in there.
They look
Like, that
happy. It looks
like a great time.
actually fun. You could
They
put a
look-
prop motor on the back of that probably, and
And sink it immediately because it would weigh so heavy.
But
It
I
looks
Oh, you
like
have
they've got
water.
some
See, look,
water.
there's water in there
Yeah,
too. You
so
So
can
it's
see
already
the feet.
sinking.
But look, you could tow this behind your pontoon boat. You could
yeah.
have a
That's
canoe
where it's
behind
at.
it or something. I imagine
actually-
this is
yeah.
like Lewis and Clark going down the river in this. If they would have had this, exploring America would have been.
There's a
I
lake
want you-
right by
more fun.
us.
I want you
right?
guys to picture something real quick, right? So you're on a lake, right? And there's almost like kind of 2 sections of it. There's a little peninsula that juts out, so you can't see to the other side, right? So you're sitting there just enjoying your summer day, chilling on the beach, and then you see this just float around the peninsula. Like,
That's
Unfortunately, it
love
doesn't
that.
have
That
any
would be
reviews
so
because I'm not sure if anyone has bought it yet. But I think that one of you 3 or anybody listening could be the first. So
we could be
that's
the first.
That's my recommendation.
I
for
might be the
everyone.
first.
I love the final bullet. Suitable for oceans.
Or throw this on the ocean.
Yeah. Let's see that get tossed around in some waves. 6 people just get pulled under by this.
This
giant
company should be
flamingo.
pushing for, instead of the whoever makes the life rafts on cruise ships and everything, this can fit more people and it's a little more fun. So maybe they should invest in that market share. So there we
That's
go.
a good
There's
one,
mine.
Adam. Good job.
And
That's
last but
that's a
not
good
least,
one.
I'll pull
All
up
right.
Tyler Young's here.
All right, guys. Playtime is over. All right, this has been really cute so far, but let's bring up the real talk. This is what people are talking about today. This is a Wall Monkeys
no.
Golf Cart Seniors isolated peel and stick wall decal. Okay, let me just talk to you. Let me break this down for you. Do you miss Pap Pap and Nan Nan? Do you miss them? Do they live 14 states away? Do they live 28 hours away? Don't worry. We got you covered. We got Pap Pap and Nam Nam in a golf cart that you can just throw on your wall. Throw it on your wall.
They don't look like that.
Eric.
Yeah, is this customizable? Like,
Yeah, can we?
Yes, it is. Adam, please scroll down.
Wow, it is customizable.
Oh.
Okay, here, Eric,
No
first one
way.
for you. Go up, Adam. See okay, you can find no wait, right there. Wall Monkeys Asia Old Man wall decal peel and stick. Customizable. Do you want a
Wow.
grandma sucking on an inhaler?
Yes.
Easy. For a low price of $22, you can get a very confused looking man that you just stick to your wall. I really appreciate that a lot. So if we just go down to some product reviews,
Sure.
they're
You
stunning.
know, it's always important to read.
Okay,
the
let me
reviews.
just go
You
through
gotta
this.
read these.
First review, I love it.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. That's it. So beautiful. Of
That's
course it is.
poetic,
It's
honestly.
art. That's what. My favorite one, keep going down a little bit. Keep going, Adam. Keep going. I think it's the next one. Like family to me. Darlene A says, my family history is complicated, to say the least.
Oh my god.
Long story short, I never got to meet my biological grandparents. There's been a hole in my heart my entire life where they should have been. At least there was, until I ordered this wall decal. These two have become the grandparents I never had.
What?
I chose to hang it above my bed so I could start and end my day with their sweet faces. When I wake up each morning, I can practically hear them revving up the golf cart.
The electric
my-
engine.
I've learned some real life lessons from them too. Graham and Gramps give me hope that I too have a love that endures like theirs. Graham's slightly unhinged smile reminds me not to let my spark go out as I grow old. Thank you for this decal. Thank you for teaching me what this family really means. Keep going down, Adam.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
tearing up, but
These-
that's
Cookies. These elders made me cookies every morning. Listen, guys.
they make you cookies.
I'm just gonna end this by saying we all feel more connected in this time of difficulty, in this time of isolation between all of us. Who doesn't want an Asian man that looks kind of scared right up on your wall? Who doesn't want to wake up and look at a ceiling where Grandma and Pap Pap are looking straight down into your soul in a very trendy golf cart that looks very old? Who doesn't want this? Everybody wants this connection. And this generational gap, this Wall Monkeys Golf Cart Seniors isolated peel and stick wall decal will fill that connection in your heart. The price is $20. The shipping is free. Go ahead and get it today. I know you do. I know you want it.
Beautiful job. So I think that, you know, we could debate about this all the time, but we should let the I think we should have people. Yeah, if you have which one was your favorite? We had a $40,000 house out of a crate shipping container. We had a $6 banana slicer. We had a $1,000 flamingo pool floaty, and last a elderly couple sitting on a golf cart wall poster decal mount.
Yep. $20.
So let us know, guys, in the comments,
Please.
and we'll create a poll. What do you think? What would you buy out of all of these? And I think that wraps up the podcast very nicely.
I think so, boys.
So check us
to
out.
see
Like
y'all.
we always say, we at Group 2 Quartet is our handle on most social media platforms. Our website, www.group2quartet.com. Check us out on YouTube. We'll be posting some fun stuff in the coming week. And tune in next week on Rehearsal Time with Group 2 for a special episode featuring a very special guest. Anything else, guys, before we leave?
Yes. Nope. I think that's a wrap, boys. Good
It's a
job.
wrap.
That's a wrap. All right, everybody.
See you
We
all.
will see you next time. Thanks
Next
for tuning in.
time.
Bye.
Bye.